Friends, buckle up. We're diving headfirst into the bureaucratic mosh pit that is the American federal government. Specifically, we're talking about former President Trump's recent executive orders. These aren't your run-of-the-mill declare it National Pickle Week type of orders. No, these are designed to shake up the very foundation of the federal workforce. And not in a shake what your mama gave you kind of way. More like a shake the etch-a-sketch until the picture is completely gone kind of way. These orders target two main groups, those involved in diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, DEI, and those in policymaking positions, affectionately dubbed Schedule F. Now you might be thinking, John, those sound like important functions of a functioning government, and you'd be right. But to understand why these orders have people more riled up than a raccoon in a recycling bin, we need to dig a little deeper. This isn't just about who gets hired or fired. It's about the very soul of the federal government. It's about whether our civil service reflects the diversity of our nation and serves the needs of all Americans, or becomes a tool for a particular political agenda. So grab your reading glasses and your antacids, because we're about to unpack this bureaucratic bombshell. Let's start with DEI, shall we? For those unfamiliar, DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. It's about making sure workplaces like, say, the entire federal government are welcoming and fair for everyone, regardless of their race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or any other characteristic that makes them unique. It's about recognizing that a diverse workforce is a strong workforce, bringing a range of perspectives and experiences to the table. Trump's executive orders, however, seem to view DEI as public enemy number one. We're talking about putting employees in federal DEI offices on paid administrative leave. We're talking about working to end DEI initiatives altogether. It's like they looked at the progress made in recent years towards a more inclusive federal government and said, nope, not on our watch. Now, the administration might argue that these measures are about eliminating divisive concepts. But let's be real, folks. This isn't about unity. It's about control. It's about silencing voices and perspectives that challenge the status quo. It's about turning back the clock on progress and creating a federal workforce that reflects a very narrow and exclusionary worldview. Now, let's talk about Schedule F, which sounds less like a government classification and more like a rejected Marvel superhero team. Essentially, this new category would make it easier to fire federal employees involved in policymaking. Sound familiar? That's because it's essentially a revival of a similar order Trump signed in 2020. Just before leaving office the first time. That order was later rescinded by the Biden administration, but like a bad penny, it's reared its ugly head once again. The idea behind Schedule F is to give the president more control over the civil service, allowing them to replace career officials with political loyalists. Now there's a reason why the civil service was designed to be somewhat insulated from political whims. It's to ensure that essential government functions continue uninterrupted, regardless of who's in the Oval Office. It's to prevent a situation where every election leads to a mass exodus of experienced civil servants, replaced by partisan hacks with questionable qualifications. This isn't just about one president or one administration. It's about safeguarding the integrity and effectiveness of our government for generations to come. Because a politicized civil service is a weakened civil service, more susceptible to corruption, cronyism, and incompetence. Unsurprisingly, these executive orders have been met with a tidal wave of opposition. Federal employee unions, such as the American Federation of Government Employees, AFGE, are understandably concerned. They see these orders for what they are, a direct attack on their members' jobs, livelihoods, and the very principles of a merit-based civil service. And they're not just sitting idly by. Legal challenges are already underway, with lawsuits being filed against the Schedule F order, arguing that it violates existing law and undermines the foundation of a professional civil service. This is more than just a legal battle. It's a battle for the soul of the federal government. It's a battle between those who believe in a government that serves all Americans regardless of their background or beliefs, and those who seek to bend the government to their own narrow will. And it's a battle that will have far-reaching consequences for all of us. So stay tuned, folks, this one's far from over.